officially 0%.
Oh my gosh.
KRZLE.
Yeah. Charles. Yeah.
Burt Reynolds pulls out a banana and
Yes,
starts
that's where I was
peeling it.
going.
Butterfly kisses.
Oh my god. Hey, fuck these drums.
The synopsis just isn't good. Oh my god. Okay. And on that note,
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of What Was That Called Again? My name's Thomas.
I am Will.
And this is a movie podcast where I have selected 3 films to which I will read their IMDb plot descriptions of, and then will have to try to match the plot descriptions with the correct titles. And if he gets any of them wrong, he will be deported to a country of my choosing.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. That's a win.
I'm leaning toward
It's a win-win situation.
I'm leaning toward Lebanon. So we'll see.
At this point, still a win.
So this is going to be, I will say up top, this will hopefully be the shortest amount of time between recording and posting that we will ever have. We, at the time of recording,
much shorter than this.
We are hours away
It's
from
fresh.
when this will need to post.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this on Monday, whenever the episode comes out, we literally just recorded this hours before it entered your ears. So
less than 12 hours before, like 8 hours before, really.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And the reason our backlog has been entirely diminished is because we haven't had a chance to record, obviously.
Yeah.
And it is largely my fault. I'll accept the blame.
Well, I've been focusing a lot on controlling the weather,
Yes,
and,
that's important.
Making sure that people can't vote because of the weather that I control purposely. So that's been my issue. But I mean, that's background for me. You've been busier than that.
Yeah, he's been controlling radar sites. That's one thing. I after all these years, I have finally contracted COVID. And
You finally did it.
I finally joined the club. I was down for the count for honestly a few days. I credit that both to my being reasonably young and healthy, and also to being vaccinated. There's actually a big COVID outbreak where I work. Like actually, literally every single person that I work with.
And by
sick.
where you work, you mean most of the United States.
Right. Well, everybody at the same time where I work was sick. I was the only person who called in to not go into work, though, whenever I was sick.
Pussy.
Everybody else went to work sick. I also
You little bitch.
am the only person who got the vaccine.
Yeah, that's why you called in sick, little bitch.
Yep. And so I was questioned on what's the point of the vaccine if you're still going to get it. And I was told about how unsafe the vaccine is, and so that was fun.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Yeah, I was a little bitch, staying at home, feeling like my head was going to pop from the intense head sinus pressure. Couldn't pop my ears. I lost my taste and smell for like 5 or 6 days.
But it's back?
It did return eventually, yeah.
Nice.
The first thing that I was able to smell and taste was sriracha. I put on something that I ate, and I was like, man, I tasted that a little bit.
What is this?
So that was delightful.
Awesome.
But
yeah, that was horrible that you had that. Yeah, so that definitely took us out for a week. Plus, we were already cutting it close on our backlog of episodes anyway.
Yeah,
and just you had to go through that, and then just also on top of just generally being busy and not having time to record. So yes, this is definitely, we are hours away. This is hours fresh. This is as fresh as What Was That Called Again has ever been.
Yes. So, hello, present day. We can hop on over into a drink check.
Yummy.
And I'll start on this one. I have a fantastic glass of my favorite wine, The Prisoner.
I almost bought that.
Our Prisoner, made in San Quentin prison wine from
Pruno.
inmate 102467's toilet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, every bottle is stamped with the inmate number that produced the bottle.
And the toilet it came from.
Yes, and like how clean it was at the time of production. So this is very good. At the time of recording here on Sunday, October 6th, yesterday was actually my birthday.
Oh shit! I
And
forgot about that. I feel like an asshole now.
this-
Happy birthday!
that's fine.
Happy birthday, Tom. I'm really bad about birthdays.
No, I am too. That's why I never say happy birthday to you. I don't remember anybody's birthday.
that's the
Yours
reason.
is
Okay, good.
like the beginning of August, right?
Sure.
All right. Well, this was a delicious birthday bottle of wine
10-5.
from
You're a 10-5
my partner.
kid. Okay.
And she bought me this bottle, unknowing to her that I already had 2 bottles of this in the cabinet in the kitchen. And so, like, I got home from work and I opened the fridge, and there was a bottle of this in there with like a bow on it, and I was like, "Oh, did she just put a bow on a bottle of wine that I bought and put it in the fridge?" And so I opened the cabinet and I was like, "Nope, I have 2 bottles in there still." So this is just another bottle that she had purchased. And so she was like, "Well, I fucked up that gift," and I was like, you bought me my favorite bottle of wine. How dare you?
Yeah, I had someone do something similar to me. And I both felt, I felt gratitude for receiving the gift because it was something that like I really enjoyed, but also I already had the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I felt like an ass because I was like, thanks, but I've already got this. But yours is at least consumable, right? So the more you use yours, the more it goes away. Well, mine was like it was a workshop apron, and I bought it just for myself. I didn't even tell anybody. I just bought it. And then a significant other at the time, later on, I think for Christmas, bought me the exact same apron. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that, that yours at least got it right, knew exactly what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And, just it's like, it wasn't a surprise. It was like, oh, I already have one of those.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just unbeknownst to her, there were already 2 bottles just like a foot away from where this one was placed. But yeah, it is very appreciated, and I'm gonna spend my night during and post recording getting blasted on this delicious wine.
So you also have to edit this before the people who are listening to it on Monday listen to it. So that means that it's also the freshest edit, and it's going to be on prison wine too. Wow, that's
accurate. Luckily, we've been really on the ball, and I think in all seriousness, I think the last 2 or 3 episodes that I've uploaded, I really have not even had to edit, essentially. Like, I've put in the music and the drops and whatnot, and then other than that, I really haven't had to touch anything.
So is that why our listeners have dropped?
Yeah, that's why we have an average of 4 to 5 downloads per episode as of like the last 6
China.
uploads.
By the way, hello, China.
So again, this is October 6th. Since October 1st, at the time of recording this, we have gotten more downloads in China than in America. The Chi-Coms are listening to us. We have Russia and China. At the time, we haven't had Russia yet this month, but we have consistently had Russia. And now we have China listening to our show. So if they are getting their intelligence from, what was that called again? Welcome. Yeah. We love all nationalities.
Movies are universal.
Movies are universal. I love Chinese films. I've seen Russian films that I love. So, hey, you have some leaders that maybe I don't agree with all of their ideas, but hey, keep doing good movies, and I'll keep giving you money, I guess. Supporting
my drink check is I already drank a drink. That's my drink check.
I did too. This is my second drink, but
So Thomas and I started this endeavor 2 hours ago, and we're just now hitting record because we had to vent out a lot of current topic frustration. Anyway, so I have already had a white rum lemonade, which was very good. I'm still polishing off my deceased person liquor that was gifted to me, and the white rum was in there. I usually don't go for white,
and that's not
white
the brand,
rum.
right? It was
No, it's just
gifted by a person who is now deceased, right?
Yeah. There's no company called Deceased Person Liquor that I know of. I mean, maybe TM. But yeah, so I'm still polishing that off. I usually don't go for white rum, and now I have 2 bottles, well, not full, but partial bottles of it. So I'm trying to polish those off. So I had already a white rum lemonade that I made, homemade lemonade, and then now I am doing, for round 2, I'm doing a ginger beer a blood orange ginger beer with vodka. So I've
a lot of words in that drink.
That was a lot of, yeah, and I'm definitely feeling the white rum lemonade. so this should be fun. I'm looking forward to this. It's been a while, and we got a lot of episodes to pump out. So spoiler alert: next week might even be more fun.
Absolutely.
We're doing a back-to-back recording, which we haven't done in ages, and it's Sunday night.
That's accurate. Before we get started here, I something unprecedented that we've never done. I actually have in my notes here, I have 3 episodes worth ready to go, and so I am going to throw it to you, Will. Give me the number 1, 2, or 3, and that'll decide which group of movies we're going with.
Okay, so I get I have no knowledge of either of these, so
no idea.
Me.
But
if anything, this is going to throw you off. I guess I could just pick randomly, and you might not be ready for it. But you said you have them in notes.
Yeah,
so.
right here in front of me. Yep, any of them, good to go.
Okay, let's. I've always been partial to the number 3.
Oh, the number 3. Okay.
So I think I'm going to pick 2.
Oh, a little curveball. I see what you're doing.
So we'll do note section 2, I guess.
Okay. We can do that. We are going to go here in chronological order of release. And we are going to be kicking off.
Hold on, wait. Could I have picked one movie from each?
No, you could not.
Okay.
Because
the look on your face was like, no, absolutely not.
That would absolutely make the notes completely
all right.
fucked, and also would throw off probably the efficiency of the selections that go
fine.
with
I just
each
want
other.
I just want to double check. So yeah, definitely group 2 then.
Well, once again, before I was rudely interrupted.
Sorry, I do that.
We are kicking off in 2014.
Oh, this is chronological too.
Yep,
So
yep.
Okay.
So that is the oldest movie we're going with here, 2014.
The last movie will be released yesterday.
My favorite year of movies.
That's right.
For as long as I've been alive.
As long as you've been alive. Right.
This one is one that I have been intending to watch for 10 years now, and I still have not watched it. And I will be changing that very soon after recording.
That's
probably.
What you said before.
I have said that before, but this time it's for real.
Okay.
Your synopsis for this one, as written on IMDb, reads as follows. When a protective father meets a murderous ex-con, both need to deviate from the path they are on as they soon find themselves entangled in a downward spiral of lies and violence while having to confront their own inner psyche.
Jeez, there's a lot here.
Yep.
Read this one more time. I think I almost have it, but just want to make sure.
Yep. It is, again, when a protective father meets a murderous ex-con, both need to deviate from the path they are on as they soon find themselves entangled in a downward spiral of lies and violence while having to confront their own inner psyche.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. This definitely sounds very actiony, action-packed. Not just in like physical action, but well, I guess that's what action is. but it also feels
mental
packed
action.
It feels packed with that mental action. It feels packed with struggles with identity and trust, and that always makes for a fun movie. Okay, 2014, a father must work with a murderous ex-con. Well, I guess he's still a con, right? So a murderous con?
It says a murderous ex-con, yeah.
I mean, I think once you murder somebody, I think you're always... always a con.
Their slate has been wiped clean.
Okay, so a murderous ex-con. So a father and a murderous ex-con must work together. Dang, what was it was to face... something deceivious or something. Say the part
Yeah.
after the two characters.
They both need to. He meets a murderous ex-con. Both need to deviate from the path they are on,
Okay.
as they soon find themselves entangled in a downward spiral of lies and violence while having to confront their own inner psyche.
Okay. So, father and murderous ex-con, they had their own paths, but then once they met, they must then deviate from that path.
Yeah.
In order to overcome something that I've already forgotten, and face their inner personal issues, and then something else. Gosh,
essentially.
Drinking for 2 hours before this has made this episode very, very difficult already. I definitely editorialized that whole thing, but basically it's like a dad and an ex-con. They got to come together. They didn't plan on it, of course.
Yeah,
and then shit
throws things off.
Yeah, shit's thrown at them, and they got to figure out how to work together while also facing their own struggles.
Correct.
So, I think I got that. Was there anything at the end that I missed though?
Nope. It's just having to confront their own inner psyche.
Okay. So that was it. So clearly the ex-con is struggling with the fact that he never had kids or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. We'll assume.
Okay. I hope I can remember that. I'm not too drunk. I'm not drunk at all. But for some reason, my mind did not want to remember any of those words. So I really look forward to hearing 2 more movies and then trying to come back to that.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. Your
second film.
Your second film comes from 2018.
Okay.
And the synopsis reads as follows. A beautiful actress struggles to connect with her disfigured co-star on the set of a European auteur's English language debut.
Wow. Okay. This is strange. Never heard of this before. A beautiful actress must overcome her horrible opinion about a disfigured co-star. Yeah, it's like, get over yourself. While working with an auteur on the auteur's first English language, you said sitcom or soap opera?
I said neither of those things.
Okay. Film? Comedy?
On the set of a European auteur's English language debut.
Yeah, and what was the issue that the beautiful actress had with the...
She struggles to connect with her disfigured co-star.
Oh, okay, just struggles to... Yeah, again, she thinks she's ugly. Okay, we get it. She's a selfish person. All right, so that seems pretty easy.
You look weird. I can't connect with you. You have no human personality.
That's my character speaking, not me. That's what she's saying. Okay, so 2018, a beautiful actress struggles to connect with her disfigured co-star on the set of an auteur's English language debut.
Yep.
Okay. That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Third film, please.
Yep. Your final film comes from 2022.
Okay.
And the synopsis reads as follows. When Elsa Mercado is released from prison after serving 16 years for killing her father, an NYC councilwoman and corporate attorney are forced to grapple with their involvement in the original crime.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you said a specific name, so
yes, Elsa Mercado or Mercado, Mercado. It's not really relevant, I suppose, but
well, maybe it is. Maybe that's a real person. That's what I was going for. Maybe this is like maybe this there's a reason why this name was very specific. Yeah. Okay. So Elsa McDonald, an ex-con who was in prison for, you said 10 years?
16
years, is released, and then this forces who? A DA and somebody like that?
Yeah, a New York City councilwoman and corporate attorney are forced to grapple with their involvement in the original crime.
But it doesn't say what the original crime was.
No, but I assume from how it's written, my assumption is that their involvement in the original crime is alluding to the killing of her father.
Oh, that's the part that I missed. Okay, yeah. So that's what Elsa was convicted of. Okay, so Elsa was in prison for 16 years.
16 years only for killing her father. Well, but it doesn't say murder, right? Oh, that's true. That's true.
Right. So this could be something that it was looked at as manslaughter or she was protecting herself or whatever. Okay, so Elsa released from prison after 16 years after killing her father, being accused of killing her father or whatever. A New York City councilwoman and a corporate attorney are then forced to face something about their involvement in the crime.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, none of these sound familiar. There's at least two that have some kind of ex-con death, killing, murder involved.
Yeah.
I don't know how the second film fits in with that. Okay, and there's also at least like some interpersonal issues that are being worked out because of the situation that the characters are put in.
Yeah.
So maybe all three of them have to do with that. Okay, or maybe the actress was disfigured because she was attacked in prison or something. I don't know. Okay, so let me try to recap all of these.
Okay.
The first one was 2014.
That's correct.
And this is a father and a murderous ex-con are forced to deviate from their path.
Yep.
Something about something, and then which causes them to face their inner demons or something like that.
Yeah, they find themselves entangled in a downward spiral of lies and violence.
Okay,
while having to confront their own inner psyche.
So they find themselves entangled with what? With lies and violence?
Yep, a downward spiral of lies and violence.
Okay, I don't know why. I guess this is just a wordy description. That's maybe why I'm
Yes.
struggling with it. There's a lot of description here, and maybe that's why I'm struggling. But I get the idea. There's these two people that come together. One's a father, one's an ex-con and murders somebody, and it forces their life to change. Now they're put into a situation where they're forced to face their inner voice or whatever the term was. Okay, I think I got that one. At least the gist of it. I don't know if the title's going to help me any, but maybe it will. The second film was 2018, and that was a beautiful actress struggles to connect with her disfigured co-star on the set of an auteur's debut English language project.
Yes.
Okay. Simple. But again, that could hurt me because there's not really much to go off of there when the title comes. Okay. And then the last film was 2022. And this was Elsa Mercetti, something like that. Is released from prison after spending 16 years in there for killing her father. And I can't remember the bridge here that bridges this to the New York City councilwoman and the corporate attorney are then forced to confront their ties to the crime.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
No.
Okay.
It's just when she's released from prison, the councilwoman and corporate attorney are forced to grapple with their involvement.
So clearly the councilwoman and district or corporate attorney didn't realize she was going to be released from prison? Or did they just really procrastinate and punt this down the road and be like, we'll figure out our involvement with it eventually.
It's 16 years away.
That's just forever. And then, oh shit, the calendar says it's next week. Oh fuck, we've got to confront our relation to this
involved
killing.
with that.
Yeah. Oh dang. Yeah, it feels like you would have had time, or like I said, maybe they didn't know that she was going to be suddenly released. Like maybe she was released on good behavior, or maybe like another judge came in and was like, you know what, this killing was just, there's something about it that's fishy. I'm going to let you go. Okay, I think I'm ready for titles. I don't know how helpful they're going to be, but here we go. Title me, please.
Okay, your first title is going to be Cold in July.
God damn it! You have a drink. Cold in July. Okay. So dumb. Okay, Cold in July. Oh, man. Either this is a movie set in Australia or possibly the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I lived there and Julys were cold. I think it's Mr. Author of that one book. God damn.
Oh yeah.
Why do I go down these tangents when I can't even think of anything? No, it was Mark Twain, who was quoted as saying once, "The coldest winter I ever experienced was a summer in San Francisco." And I can attest to that. I've had colder winters, but the summers there are quite cold. But maybe it's also that they're just talking about New York City.
Yeah, there is a fantastic song by the band Sleater Kinney, and in the chorus they say, "Lonely as a cloud in the Golden State. The coldest winter that I ever saw was the summer that I spent." Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But specifically in the Bay. For some reason, middle of July, or the first week of August, 50 degrees. 50 degrees and just windy. And then September is usually normal summer temps. But yeah, it was bone-chillingly cold. Okay, but I don't think that has anything to do with anything going on here.
Or, like you said, it could be Australia. They could just be don't forget to bring your jacket. It's going to be cold out there. It's July. You know
right.
that.
It could be, but I don't think that makes it... It makes sense. July is supposed to be cold in
it's Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the outback.
So I feel like this might be... I don't know where the other two movies are set at all. But you said first English language.
That is true. The European auteur's English language debut.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm just going off of the cold in July. What was it called again? It was...
Cold in July.
Cold in July? Okay, sorry. It seemed too easy. Cold in July. I'm just going off the fact that, New York is pretty notorious, at least in film, for having very hot Julys. Just that imagery of the traffic jam streets and, kids playing out in the fire hydrant and just everyone's sweaty comes to mind. So only because of that, I had no other information. I'm just going to loosely place Cold in July with the 2022 film for now.
Okay. Your second title to work with is going to be Chained for Life.
Chained for Life.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Chained for Life. I don't know. Right. Chained for Life. I don't really know where to put this. It's vague enough to go with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them really grab a reason. Chained for Life.
It could be none of them. Maybe what if this is the first time that I'll give you 4 titles and one of them is just something made up that doesn't go with any of them?
That'd be crazy. I don't know if that'd make my odds any better or worse, really. Chained for Life, though. Chained to what? Chained what? Why are we chained? Chained for life. Are we chained for life as in that's the duration of time that we're going to be chained, or this person is chained? Or are we chained because of life? For life?
Valid question.
In order for life to be, I need to be chained. I don't know where this fits.
I don't know. None of these were about a freak show.
That's true. But but there are 2 that are about prison. I guess maybe too. You could also say that the disfigured actress is in a way in her own prison.
Well, those are words that I never said.
I thought you did.
A beautiful actress struggles to connect with her disfigured co-star.
What did I say?
You're saying a disfigured actress.
Well, co-stars,
which isn't
sure.
said.
I assumed that
we don't know if this is an asexual person, a woman, a man, non-binary. So, you don't know.
Disfigured co-star.
Yeah.
Like I said, that could be a prison of sorts.
Sure.
And they're withheld because they're withheld in life because of that disfigurement. And maybe this is
God gave me 25 to life.
And maybe this is this first English language project is maybe a possibility for them to break those chains, and then this beautiful
Everyone
actress...
sees you as a freak, yes? Let's deviate from that path.
Suddenly a French film.
Could be European.
I mean, no, yeah, that's right. I mean, Artur
What
as
if
well.
Jean-Luc Godard is in this as himself?
Knowing you, it wouldn't surprise me. In fact, that makes the most sense. Okay, yes, I don't know. Chain for Life. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to set that one aside because I really have no...
Yeah.
Other than, like I said, other than like the prison thing. But there's 2 films that have prison. Okay, I mean, it could be the father. Maybe the father's like, I didn't want kids, and now I'm chained for life by these fucking kids.
He's a protective father. Maybe the kids are chained for life.
Yeah, he's
so protective.
He's preventing them from going out in the world. Yeah, there's danger out there. There's criminals, and then he meets a criminal. He's like, well, the criminals aren't too bad, actually. They're helpful.
I don't let Margaret off of the radiator.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So Cold in July and then Chain for Life. What's the third title?
The murderous ex-con is the savior.
Yeah, he's
your final title is going to be What We Do Next.
What We Do Next. Okay. Cold in July and Chained for Life have a feeling to them of like there's something bigger to those. Like there's something impactful. There's an impactful feeling to me about those 2 titles. And then What We Do Next does not have that feeling at all.
This is just an innocuous title.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no weight behind it.
There's a different weight, a different type of weight. It has a very different feel.
Yeah.
What We Do Next, and I feel like maybe is that like the name of the English language project? What We Do Next. Because I just don't. So I guess I should break this down like I usually do instead of just trying to figure out.
Break it down.
Figure out what part of the world has cold Julys. Okay, so Cold in July, Chained for Life, and What We Do Next.
Yep.
So I said originally that I think the Cold in July it feels like that's very much what you would not expect to experience in New York City. And in fact, I'm going to guess that like New York City is also very hot in this movie, if that is the title that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the cold is like the truth behind Elsa's father's death and the motivation behind it, and that kind of stuff, possibly. For now, I guess I'm not officially assigning that because I don't know if Cold in July. I said the whole disfigured co-star and the beautiful actress and first English language. There's just not really much there to pull off of for Cold in July. I mean, I guess you could say that like maybe the production was taking place in July and the actress is being cold towards her co-star. I guess maybe, but that doesn't. I mean, that's really loose even for me. And then the first
even for me,
yeah, even for me, that's really loose. Yeah, and then the first film of the you said Protective Father was his descriptor.
Yep.
Okay,
yes.
I forgot about that. Protective Father and Murderous Ex-Con. So they are very much opposites. But I don't know.
Maybe that's just how they seem on the surface, and then
no, I'm sure. Yeah,
when we get into their inner psyche, you see that they're not so different.
I'm guessing that they're going to share a lot of okay, I'm trying to think if there would be any way.
Maybe Margaret's chained to the radiator.
Is that why it's cold in July? The radiator's
yeah,
off.
It's off.
I can't turn the radiator. I know we're having like this weird cold snap, but I can't turn the radiator on because Margaret's chained to it.
Dad, please.
It's cold in July. There's a title.
Maybe she's in like a basement setting, and it's like 15 degrees colder down there than it is upstairs.
But you're saying that Margaret is chained there because someone's protecting her.
Yeah, because it's her protective father, and he's like, "You're not going out, that boy."
Murderous ex-con. Okay. Yes, I don't really have a way to, at least not yet, convince myself that Cold in July is the 2014 film either. Okay, so I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm parking Cold in July with the 22 Elsa McFadden woman, whatever her name was, released from prison after 16 years for killing her father, forcing a NYC councilwoman and corporate attorney to face their involvement in the crime. Okay, for now, that's where Cold in July is going. So,
Okay.
I said that What We Do Next, is that the title, right?
Yes, What We Do Next.
I said that what We Do Next, I said, stands out. It doesn't have the same feel to me as the other two films. And having said that, the only one of these three films that didn't really fit to me at first was this beautiful actress and disfigured co-star movie from 2018. What We Do Next. I don't know if there's anything in the synopsis that I can pull from that would make me more confident with calling that What We Do Next, other than just it feels that way. So can What We Do Next be the protective father in murderous ex-con movie? Maybe.
Good question.
Well, I'm trying to think as a way to like eliminate just me going with a feeling.
Gut feeling.
Right. Gut check. So I feel like What We Do Next could definitely be something that is asked or said in this movie, especially whenever they're facing their inner voice or whatever it was that you said. Was it inner voice or inner demons or inner beauty? No.
For which one?
For the first film, the 2014 Protective Father.
Meets a murderous ex-con. Both need to deviate from the path they are on as they soon find themselves entangled in a downward spiral of lies and violence while having to... Oh, I see what you're saying. While having to confront their own inner psyche.
Inner psyche, that's the word.
Yeah.
Okay, so confront their own inner psyche. So they're making decisions. They're making decisions that they wouldn't have made in their normal lives, or their life, at least, whenever they met each other. So that might be why we get asked, or they ask, they ponder the question, what we do next.
What do we do next?
Now, it's not what do we do next. It's what we do next.
What we do next.
What we do next could really change, the course of our lives. What we do next, really goes against what I'm all about, or what I thought I was about.
Do we lie, or do we commit violence?
Do we continue to get entangled in this murderous spiral of deceit and violence, or do we go unchain Margaret and go have ice cream?
He cocks his pistol. I don't back down.
He cocks his pistol and goes, cookies and cream. Okay.
Let's combine the two ideas and let's go rob the ice cream parlor.
Let's go shoot the ice cream parlor. But that would leave Chained for Life with the 2018 beautiful actress, disfigured co-star, Arthur, English language film. And I still maybe think that we're talking about the disfigurement being something that changed this person for life, but also possibly I was going to say maybe like the decision, whatever it is that's not decision, but it's something that's preventing this actress from connecting with this co-star. And have they always had these thoughts for their whole life? Have they been chained for life? Have they been restrained?
Thinking people are gross.
Yeah, his nose is here. I can't connect. Yeah, so she's been chained in a way that has prevented her. She's been maybe just never met someone like this because her life is so her bubble is so privileged.
Yeah,
that's she's been chained for life in that. So I'm really leaning towards that. Okay. I mean, I guess another shot at this, which is I usually always need. So, I guess I'll just go for it. The 2014 film of the protective father who meets a murderous ex-con which forces them to deviate from their path, causing them to be in a entangled in a downward spiral of violence and something else, chaos or something like that.
Lies and violence.
Lies and violence. There we go. And forcing them to face their inner psyche, or answer questions to their inner psyche. I'm going to call that one What We Do Next.
Okay.
2018 film of the beautiful actress having struggling to connect with her disfigured co-star while filming or while on the set of Artur's first English language film. I'm going to call that one Chained for Life. And then, only really because I picture New York City hot in July, and I think it would be interesting, or at least not me personally, but I'm sure someone thought it'd be interesting to say Cold in July as the title. So I'm going to say that the 2022 film of Eloise McCaben, Doodle, whatever her name was, Merced, being released from prison after 16 years for the killing of her father, forcing a New York City councilwoman and a corporate lawyer, I do believe, attorney to face their involvement in the crime. I'm going to call this one Cold in July.
Okay. Let's get a plane ticket because you are out of the country. You have 1 out of 3 correct.
Okay. That's like, I don't know what this means.
You're deported.
Oh yeah, Lebanon. but I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing still. So okay. So I got 1 out of 3, which, I mean, that's what I do. So and really that's just pure guess is what that is. Okay, so which one do I keep?
Good question.
Maybe sorry, maybe Elsa was chained to a radiator. And for some reason, this councilwoman and a corporate lawyer knew about it. Didn't do anything to stop it. And she was chained by her father, and she decided, and one day she got free and killed her father. And and for some reason there's a corporate attorney involved. I don't know what his role is here, but even though she was actually chained, and she went to prison, but she's still technically chained to that event. So I think I'm going to switch that one and the first film. So Cold in July. I mean, maybe that's just I mean, I guess it still could be an Australian film, but I don't know if that really makes it stand out any. Maybe Cold in July is just something you don't expect. How about that? Okay, so you don't expect it to be cold in July.
No, I wouldn't.
And you don't expect a protective father and a murderous ex-con to work together, and you also don't expect them to have very much in common, but they end up doing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I thank you for agreeing with my ill-found logic. I'm gonna go ahead and convince myself of that. So the 2014 film is now Cold in July.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep the 2018 film as Chain. No, wait, I didn't. No, I messed that up. Yeah, I did. Holy shit, I messed that up. I changed the wrong one. Oh, dang, my logic has failed now. Oh crap.
Now I'm confused.
Well, because it was Chained for Life was not the 2014 film.
Mm-hmm.
In my original guess. Chained for Life was the Artur.
Yes, right.
Right. Shit. Okay. Damn it. I was wanting to keep that one. What we do now.
Next.
What we do next.
Yeah.
What we do eventually. Is the whole universe. The
what are we
universe. Doing? What did we do? Okay, what we do next. Oh, damn. Okay, shit. Well, so I had this whole thing built up, and I convinced myself, and then I forgot which titles I had where. Damn it. Okay, so I guess we'll just start that part over again, which is me trying to figure out which one to keep, which is hard because I really wanted to keep the middle one, but that was the one I convinced myself. Okay. So now I have to convince myself that Elsa wasn't chained to a radiator. And that someone in the movie says what we do next.
Okay.
Because I do believe that I feel like cold and I've confused myself, and I'm sure everyone
Someone
else...
in the movie says what we do next.
Okay, sorry, I'm still on the lemonade. Okay,
The New York City Councilwoman looks at her notes and says, "What we do next?"
What we do
And they
next.
go, "What?" And they, I mean, what do we do next?
What do we do next? Yeah. So she scratches it out and writes it again. Okay, because I did kind of really convince myself that The Cold in July was a 2014 film.
Okay.
Just now, I mean, with the whole, not expecting July to be cold, not expecting a protective father and a murderous ex-con to work together or have things in common. Cold in July.
I've got my daughter tied up to the radiator.
So I'm going to switch
her out.
I'm going to switch that one. I'm going to with the so again 2014 is now Cold in July. 2018 we're going to keep with Chain for Life, and then now the 2022 film is now What We Do Next.
Okay.
So I think I got to convince myself one more time here. I think what we do next could be something that
special.
The councilwoman and the corporate attorney do maybe say, like, what we do next is going to get us in a lot of trouble, or what we do next is going to blow the.
You and I both know that we're way too close to this. So what we do next?
Yeah, there it is.
Is going to affect the outcome of our lives.
Something along those lines. All right, so I'm locking it in. First one is Cold in July now. Second one is still Chained for Life, and now the third one is What We Do Next.
All right,
God,
let's see.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Let's see if we can cancel that one-way flight to Lebanon.
I already hear the stewardess button, or like the flight attendant button being called over here.
You went from 1
Bing, bing.
to 3.
Oh, I'm staying.
You got all 3.
Oh,
You're staying here. I don't know if that's a win or a loss, but
I just want, for the record, that is, to me, that is not a win, because I fumbled that the whole way through. There was not one bit of me that feels like I got something right there.
you may have fumbled it the whole way through, but it ended up in the end zone on your behalf. 3 out of 3. So to run through these here, 2014's Cold in July. This movie premiered at the Sundance Film Festival 2014, January 2014. If there was any Sundance I could have ever gone in my entire life, that is the one I wish I could have gone to. We had the premiere.
Did you know about it beforehand, or are you looking back on it?
You mean the festival specifically?
Yeah, like did you know about the festival and its lineup?
I knew about it beforehand.
Okay, cool.
I was following it very closely in 2014. We had the premiere, so we had Cold in July, which has been very well received. I will say that, not to lead too much into our ratings or anything like that, but we had Cold in July premiere there. We had The Guest premiere there. My favorite movie. We had the Raid 2 premiere there. We had Whiplash premiere there. We had Boyhood premiere there. We had fucking...
That's a good year.
2014 was a banger. So yeah, I wish I could have been there. So I actually remember Simon Barrett on one of his podcasts mentioning Cold in July a few years ago, because him and director Adam Wingard were nervous about the premiere of The Guest, because Cold in July had premiered beforehand, and similar to The Guest, evidently Cold in July has a similar 80s vibe to it, with like a John Carpenter-esque score. And I actually have read that the score for Cold in July the director and the composer actually specifically went for a John Carpenter vibe.
Oh wow!
So it has apparently it has like a very like a 80s reminiscent synth score. It is adapted from a book which was published in 1989, and the movie takes place in the year that the book was originally set. So it's not like they modernized the movie; they set it when the book was written.
Oh, I see.
The movie is currently, at the time of recording, available to stream for free with ads on Pluto or Plex. This is directed by WWTCA alum director Jim Mickle, who we previously heard about from his debut film Mulberry Street, about the rat infestation, zombie rat, or whatever it was. So this movie stars Michael C. Hall, Sam Shepard, and Don Johnson.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Director Jim Mickle was influenced by Roadhouse and the Korean film Memories of Murder from Bong Joon-ho. After exploring feminist themes in his previous film We Are What We Are, which stars Michael Parks, Mickle wanted to explore more masculine themes in Cold in July. He called Cold in July the, quote, the other side of the coin, end quote, to what we are what we are, in a film about being, quote, sucked into your own kind of action movie, end quote. Mickle tried to work in many 1980s themes and references to John Carpenter's work from that period. So there is Cold in July. We can move along to 2018's Chained for Life from director Aaron Schimberg, who we will be hearing about, I assume, in present day 2024 very shortly, if not already. Chained for Life is streaming at the time of recording on Tubi. The film stars Jess Weixler, I assume is how her last name is pronounced, and Adam Pearson. This film is directed by, like I said, Aaron Schimberg, who at the time of release of this episode has a A24 film that is about to be released called A Different Man, which also stars Adam Pearson. And Pearson is actually disfigured. He has a condition called...
Oh, I have seen...
Yes.
Stuff. Okay, yeah.
He suffers from a condition called neurofibromatosis, which is a condition where benign tumors grow in the nervous system. Mm-hmm. And he has been active with outreach programs to prevent bullying associated with deformities. So he really, in real life, has a condition which causes his face to be deformed. Not to be insensitive, but as an honest comparison, it's similar to the Elephant Man.
Yes, yeah.
With his facial deformities.
At least in look, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so, that guy, if anyone listening has seen the film Under the Skin, that was his first role on film. He is one of the quote unquote victims that Scarlett Johansson's character consumes. That's right. Yes, if you recall that, there is a deformed character. That is him.
Okay.
He was in this movie, and then the same director who made Chained for Life made this new A24 film, A Different Man, that is, I believe, expected to probably get some Oscar hype this coming season. There's a lot of... A24 is really good at their promotions for their movies like this that they really believe in. And I actually just recently received an email from A24's newsletter about this movie with a fantastic write-up from the director about his anxiety and procrastination when it comes to writing, and how he overcomes that by just he similar to us, I think. He really wants to write something, but he has the procrastination where he kind of makes excuses for himself to I got to do this and this, so I don't have time to write, but just the drive of
it's really just anxiety.
I want to get this story on screen, and the thrill of getting this thing made is what pushes him to continue writing. It was a really good write up. In that email. So I really look forward to seeing this movie, A Different Man. But with this movie, A Different Man, coming out, I also do want to see this film, Chained for Life, which stars, like I said, Adam Pearson with the unfortunate real-life health issue that causes the deformities. And finally, we end in 2022 with the film What We Do Next. And there was not a lot of information on this. So all I have for you on this film is that it is, at the time of recording, streaming free with ads on Freevee or on Tubi. It is from director Steven Belber. And the director of this film, Steven Belber, is actually an Emmy nominee for writing a made-for-HBO film in 2002 called The Laramie Project.
The Laramie Project is based off of a play.
Yes.
It's based off of the killing of...
yes.
What's his face?
Yes, it was based off of like a true crime event of
yes.
I read about something about the town dealing with this murder. Is that correct?
So if I remember correctly, the Laramie Project...
Did you see it? Or do you just know about it?
I was in the play.
Oh.
In fact, on my shelf, I think
inside scoop.
Yeah, in fact, I think on my shelf I have still the playbook, the actual.
That's awesome.
The dialogue. I'm pretty sure that's the one about Matthew Shepard, is it not?
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was in I think Montana, outside of Missoula, maybe.
Yes.
If I'm remembering right, in the early '90s, mid '90s. And I'm sure I'm getting all these dates wrong, but he was basically murdered for being gay.
Right.
It was a hate crime, and it really sparked this huge movement of realizing that like he maybe not be the only one, and and kind of like if I remember correctly, the play doesn't necessarily focus completely on just that issue. It's kind of like I think the aftermath and the things that came after the incident. It's not really, at least from my memory, it's not based exactly on like the moment by moment events that took place. It's more of like
the repercussions of the event.
And I also think like there's a bit of a documentary style to it, if I remember right too. Like they interview people who knew Matthew Shepard and people around the town. It's been over 10 years since I was part of that. And I had a very, very, very small, meaningless role in it. but yes, the Laramie Project. Yes, it's very it's based on a true event, and it's from my memory, it's also very heartfelt and emotional.
Yeah, so like I said, the director of What We Do Next was nominated for an Emmy for writing the made-for-HBO film based on that play. Right. With all three of these getting a little feel for what we are working with here, how do you feel about the rating spread? And I will say, one of these three films, I'm not going to say which one, of course, but one of these three films, the rating that you're going to get to work with is based only off of 114 IMDb ratings.
Wow, okay.
So take that information as you will.
Yeah. Well, the question though is like, which one is that? Because you said that the 2022 film didn't have much to go off of, right? As far as information about it.
That one was the 2022 What We Do Next. There was not a lot of there was like no information on that movie, so I had to look into the filmmaker. Yeah,
but it also seems like maybe the 2018 film might also not be seen. But well, maybe not. I say that, but then like I mean, you pulled this information fairly recently, and the A24 film that's coming out has been kind of in the news, so that number might be higher. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to say maybe it might be the last one that has the lower number. But yeah, as far as the spread goes, I don't know, because I mean, these are all fairly recent films within like, the last decade, and
sidebar, I am really feeling this wine. I don't know if that's been clear or not, but
you've been speaking clearly. I'm the one that rambled on for 45 minutes and then didn't get a fuck thing right. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know about the spread, because like I said, they all feel like they're good movies. These all feel like they either have a good cast or they have like a good pedigree of filmmaker, or there's something going on for them.
We got Don Johnson in the mix. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's already 2 stars bonus, or right there at least.
Yeah, 2-star bonus for Don Johnson being featured. I agree
Why
with
not?
that.
I wonder if Don is. Do you think he's the protective father or the murderous ex-con?
That's a great question.
That's something to ponder later on.
I would lean towards protective father, but that's a great question.
Yeah, I see that too. Okay. So as far as the spread goes, I feel like this might be like one of our higher episodes, maybe. I'm not clear. I'm not confident in that, but I'm going to say it anyway.
No.
So I'm going to say like
I always love the constant you making a declaration and then immediately just double dialing it back a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, this is how it is. Well, unless it's not. Okay. So I will say that maybe these are all fairly close within a point.
That's true. Yeah.
And then I'll also say that I'm going to go, the highest is mid to upper 7s. So mid to upper 6 to mid to upper 7. The highest film, boy, I don't know. I mean, does Don not really, or not even the same person, Don Johnson, Don not, that'd be hilarious. Does Don Johnson really bump it to first place? I don't think so, but I'm going to say it anyway. So, just for the sake of time and me not rambling anymore, I will say that Cold in July is number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is What We Do Next, and number 3 is Chained for Life.
Alrighty. Working from the bottom with a 6.5.
Okay.
We have Aaron Schimberg's Chained for Life, 2018. In the middle, we have with a 6.7.
Oh, okay.
Jim Mickles' Cold in July from 2014.
Okay.
With the Don Johnson bump.
That's with the Don Johnson bump. So without that, it'd be like 4 or something.
And our top rated film with 114 ratings.
Wow.
So weight that as you will. We have
everyone who's seen this loves it.
And everyone who's seen it worked on it. We have a 7.2. We have What We Do Next from 2022.
Okay, so it's the film with the least amount of information that you could find.
That's correct. Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, I don't know much about the filmmaker, but I do know that the Laramie Project was fairly well received. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that came out on HBO, and then I remember doing the play years later and being like, oh shit, this is from that. So maybe it is good. Just it's unknown.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do a quick tag me.
Tag me.
So starting with Cold in July.
Yes.
This is a segment where I go there on the IMDb page for every movie. There is a section called Plot Details.
Yep.
And it essentially has random words that are in some way loosely related to the plot.
Users have added these apparently.
And you can click, and they're basically tags, and so you can click on them, and you can find other movies that have the same tag.
So give me like 2 from each, just to keep it short.
So for the film Cold in July, the first one that we have here is female nudity.
Okay.
We have shot in the head.
Oh wow!
And we have month in title.
Okay. Well. I mean,
with What We Do Next.
I mean, that's a pretty. I wonder how many movies have month in title.
Yeah,
and then I also wonder. I also want someone to come up with like the data sheet of like which titles of which the month is in the title, which month has the most titles.
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
And I bet you it is July.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because the only 2 I can think of are Cold in July and Christmas in July. so there's at least two movies.
yeah. There's no other titles that have any other month.
October Sky is another one I can think of.
Oh, good one.
Yep.
There's other ones. Moving on to What We Do Next.
Yep.
We have so this again is the one 2022 film. What we do next? We have politician.
Okay.
Mayoral election.
Oh! So there's some kind of political motivation here. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And we have blackmail.
Ooh, okay.
So we might have some, some real political intrigue and some real.
But there's also still the question of the daughter killing her father. Why was that? You know what?
And how?
Or at least
and how were these other two people involved? The councilwoman and the corporate attorney.
If the daughter didn't actually do the killing, then somehow she was convicted of it.
So we'll end here in 2018's Chained for Life.
Yep.
We got some interesting tags, to say the least.
Okay.
I'm going to start with how we have male pubic hair.
All right. For me, real quick, how many other movies you got there with male pubic hair?
Pubic hair. We have more than you would think.
Oh,
I'm
God.
scrolling. There is a ton. From The Hateful Eight to American History X to 50 Shades of Grey, and everything in between.
Wow. Okay.
We have.
I wonder what they're calling pubis. Are they the pubis, like a bush? Or are we just talking like pubic hair in general, as far as other like the trail, that kind of stuff? I wonder.
Oh, the happy trail. Yeah.
I wonder where the line is for this description.
That's a great question that we will not get the answer to.
We will not.
This week. We also have acid thrown in face.
Dang.
There are 11 films that have that tag.
I wonder who gets the acid thrown in their face.
Yeah, I don't know. We have bandage over eyes, and we have limo driver. It's a tag on that one.
All right.
So there we go. There's your tags. We do, to move quite right along, we do have a quote. And this is where I go to the quote section on IMDb, and I read a quote from one of these films, presumably written by a user on IMDb, so there's no way to know if these are actually from the movie, but we're going to assume they are. And so I'm going to read this quote, and then Will guesses what film the quote comes from.
And I know that you've wanted to see the 2014 film, Golden July, but have you seen the other two?
I have not.
Okay, so you've not seen any of these, and you're just going to make a character up. Okay.
Yep, I'm going in blind into this quote, and to read the quote.
Oh, wait. I have an idea, though. I had an idea, okay. And I know this episode's going along. I wanted to start to give you direction. Because I think it would be fun. I don't know what quote that you have selected.
Yeah. And I'm a great voice actor.
Right. Well, that too. But I've also, I didn't say impersonation. I direction as far as character motivation. So I don't but I don't know the characters because I've also not usually seen these films.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to give you direction based off of what you've told me about these three films.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to try to give you direction and hope that I nail it.
Yeah.
Hope that or I could be way off. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so
this what we're working with here is one line by one character.
Good to know.
It is delivered by a man.
Okay, so that might have been too much information, but
okay.
But I do appreciate that. I was already going to pick a male character, but okay. So I want you to take on the character of we'll say 50 to 60-year-old who has two young adult daughters.
Okay.
And you've always been very, almost overbearingly protective of them.
Sure.
And in this line, however, I don't even know what you're going to say. I have no idea what the line is. But in this line, I want you to deliver this.
Yeah.
As if someone you don't know is asking questions about one of your daughters.
Okay.
And action.
Okay, and your quote reads as follows. All right, boys. It's Howdy Doody time.
Oh, you broke me. Oh, is that actually the
All right, boys, it's Howdy Doody time.
Okay. All right, boys. It's Howdy Doody time. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So I don't believe this is I do not believe this is what we do next. I don't think anyone in New York is saying Howdy Doody time at all. I also feel like this is not this is not Chained for Life, because we're talking about an auteur's first English language film. I mean, maybe he could just be misinterpreting what Howdy Doody time means.
Right.
But I really do feel like I maybe have gotten at least the correct movie with my character assumption, but not necessarily the correct character. But I think this is Cold in July.
You are correct. It is Cold in July, and it is delivered by a character named Jim Bob.
Okay, well that
played
makes total sense.
By Don Johnson.
Oh my gosh, I was in my character I was building up to Don. To Don. I don't know if he was 50 or 60 at that time. I think he was around that age. But yeah, that's what I just assumed that he was the father.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was great. Okay. Yeah, I had that thought a few weeks ago. I was like, I want to start giving you direction based off of these characters.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean we got to know where this line so now we know that Don Johnson plays Jim Bob? Right?
Yep, Jim Bob.
Jim Bob. So he's clearly not the father, the protective father. And I don't imagine him being the murderous ex-con. So who is Jim Bob in this movie? And where does this line, all right, boys, it's Howdy Doody time? I feel like this is like one of the baddies that our ex-con and our father have to kind of face in this this downward spiral of lies and violence.
I was gonna say he's the dad's stockbroker.
Okay. I mean, I'm going with it, but you got to fill in the rest. Okay. So he knows the dad, you're saying? And
the dad takes the ex-con to the stockbroker, and he's like, "You got to get involved in the stock market, dude."
Where did the stockbroker come in? Was that just invented just now? Or did I miss something? Okay.
No.
I didn't know if I missed something there.
No.
Okay. Start again. You said the ex-con goes to the stockbroker?
The dad takes the ex-con to the stockbroker.
Okay.
And he's
whose
like,
name? Jim Bob?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm going with it. It could be a nickname, like maybe he's like just called Jim Bob, right? But he's not really from the South or anything.
Oh, he's just a good old boy. He's a good old boy.
He's actually from Connecticut, but we call him Jim Bob.
Yeah, and the dad's just like, listen, ex-con, whom I'm now entangled with, probably for nefarious reasons.
After we deviated from our path.
Yeah, after we deviated from our normal life trajectory, I'm going to take you to my stockbroker, and you need to invest some of your hard-earned slavery and prison cash into the stock market.
Okay, protective father, but who is your stockbroker?
His name is Jim Bob. Okay. That's what we call him. His name is actually Jimmy, James, if you will.
James Robert.
Yes, James Robert, but we call him Jim Bob. And so he takes him there, and it's Don Johnson. And so Don Johnson's sitting behind the desk and whatnot, and the dad is telling him about. He's like, "Yeah, I got Charlie here. He's hot out of prison. He needs to make some cash." And I was telling him about investing in stocks and whatnot. And I was telling him that this Apple stock is really taking off.
Okay.
In 1989.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I think he needs to invest in that stuff. And I was just taking him out here to get his to dip his toes into the water in the stock market. And Jim Bob's like, "All right, boys, well, it's Howdy Doody time." And he turns and he swivels his chair over, and he gets onto his Apple iMac or whatever it was. That was
Commodore or something like that, something older than.
He starts click clacking away, and he's like, "So you're wanting to get 4 shares is what you can afford with your slave earnings in prison.
License plate money.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Jim Bob is Jim Bob a nefarious character, or is Jim Bob just a guy that we meet? Like does he play
He starts
a role?
out as just a guy that we meet. He starts
sure,
out
well,
as
yeah,
just
yeah.
a stockbroker.
Sure.
He's just a stockbroker doing his job,
Yep. Broken
doing his
stocks.
thing. But then he gets mixed up in this.
Oh, he gets entangled with the lies and violence.
He gets mixed up in this because the
Steve
dad
Jobs is-
the dad and the
Oh, go
ex-con get to talking about their lies and violence. And so Jim Bob is like, hey, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and now I'm involved. He's like, I can't just idly sit by and hear this stuff. Like now, if the feds come asking questions, like I can't lie and pretend that I don't know any of this.
I like the idea that Jim Bob has multiple spoken moments on film, but his only line is always, "All right, boys, it's howdy doody time." But it's just how he delivers it that gives the context of what he's trying to say.
He overhears what they're saying. He's like, he kind of stops typing. And he goes, "All right, boys, it's howdy doody time."
Yeah, like let's come together. Let's
Which
let's
means,
bring
like,
it in.
tell
Let's
me
talk
what's
about-
going on. There's
then,
something
like,
going on.
Later on in the film, like the feds are after them, and there's also this mob or this gang of crooks or whatever, and shit's really heightened, and stuff's about to hit the fan, and Jim Bob goes, "All right, boys, it's howdy doody time," and he just like grabs some guns, and
in the climax there's like a big shootout, and he's hunched down behind the car.
It's howdy doody time.
He's crouched down behind the car, and he's got his pistol in his hand. He goes, "All right, boys, it's howdy doody time," and he like stands up and starts firing.
No, I even like in that moment, like the climax. This is so dumb. The climax is Jim Bob. Yeah, Jim Bob's like for some reason now he's like the ringleader of this fight. but he looks over at protective dad and murderous ex-con, and he goes, like they're all hiding behind cars in this parking garage, and Jim Bob goes, "All right, boys," and then they all say, "It's howdy doody time," as they stand up and just fire into the... Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what it is. Oh my God, we're dumb. We're dumb and drunk, and it's late. All right, what was that called again? All right, boys, it's howdy